Now you do have me fired up a bit.
Thank you. Here we go.
Here's the way you could have looked at it. I should have. Son of a bitch! I should have done this. I should have had Lydia with extra invitations in her backpack.
Make it rain.
Make it rain. That's awesome. Because if little Jeremy started to throw a little bitch fit because he was going to cry, and his mom's coddled to his ass all the time, so he cries to get whatever he wants.
Oh, he's going to be a mama's boy and a terrible husband later.
That's right.
The Scott and Alley Not For Air podcast. The rules are gone. The shirt is untucked. Here's Scott and Alley.
You know, as we get the Scott and Alley Not For Air podcast started, which will drop, by the way, when we are officially into the 20th anniversary year of the Scott and Alley show.
We made it. You know, I never thought we were going to make it to that point.
Really?
I didn't.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Sorry. Way to really start on a high note.
Would that be because of, did you?
How annoying you are. No, I'm kidding.
I'm kidding. There's that.
I just didn't. I never thought I would work somewhere for 20 years.
And now are you thinking of being anywhere else? It's crazy.
No, but we've heard over the past 2 months how I applied to different places.
Well,
that Scott found out about later.
That was way early in your career. I can't blame you for that.
That was much earlier, which is why I never thought I was going to make it to 20 years because I thought, 3 years, I'm out the door.
I honestly, when I first got here, I thought this was going to be, because I do a job other than the show, and I thought it was going to
be...
Do ya? I used to do a job other than the show. It's called coasting now. But I really thought, like, okay, this is going to be a rebuild, and the success will happen because it started happening, in the course of the very early part of that first 3 years. And this is not just the show. This is our station, our primary station that we were on. And I thought, okay, this is going to get, either noticed or opportunities are going to kind of, open up very quickly. And then and they didn't.
I was going to do it, but I thought I've abused you enough already.
No, but it just...
in less than 2 minutes.
It's the weirdest thing because in what has now been 20 years of the Scott and Alley show, what's so crazy about it is, and we said this on the show, does not feel at all like it's 20 years. Like, we wake up and it is the strangest thing. Like, I don't feel we haven't been here 20 years, but I don't feel it's been 20 years. Like, I know it's been more than 5.
I can't believe it's been 20 years. I feel like we've done so much.
Oh my gosh, we've forgotten more than we're gonna.
Yes, and that's that's the part I hate. I wish I would have journaled everything we've done because people have been asking me a lot recently. What's been your favorite thing you've done? And I'm like,
I don't know. What do you remember first? And we'll start there.
Exactly.
Which is actually not a bad way to do it. People have, this is one of the wildest things. People have different memories of different things that hit them differently. Mm-hmm. And, sometimes you get something that'll, somebody will say something that we did and we'll be like, oh my God, I forgot we did that.
Well, that even happens with my friend group. I've had the same best friends almost my whole life.
Yeah.
And I know that sometimes they'll just mention something in passing. Do you remember when we were in 10th grade and we did blah, blah, blah? And I'm like, oh my God. Yes, I forgot that we did that.
Oh, you forgot. That's so true.
And so sometimes, unfortunately, I forget all the things we've done because we do so much.
Yeah, it's always been, in fact, many years ago when consultants attempted to work on this show, a lot of them would say, and actually there was one theme that would continuously come up and they go, you guys cover a lot in a show.
Oh, you know what I thought you were going to say?
What?
Chemistry.
Oh, that is a guarantee.
Chemistry
you don't last 20 years without a chemistry of the personalities. And really what it comes down to is we have a similar twisted sense of humor. Mm-hmm. It's an easy sense of humor for people to be a part of and either listen to or absorb. But at the same time, if you don't have somebody that can follow your bizarro, and I probably count on one hand, maybe just starting the second hand over the years where one of us didn't see where the other one was going or understand where it was going. And that's a huge, huge piece of it.
We actually had a segment the other day that I couldn't see where you were going, but we got there.
You did.
It took us a minute. And once we got there, okay, we're both understanding what we were trying to say, the goal. Because not everything, but a lot of things are not planned. It's like we'll lightly talk about something, or I want to talk about this, but we don't say, and here's how I feel. We'll just
we
say,
don't script it.
Right. I want to talk about this, and then whatever happens, which I love that free flow.
Yeah, well, you have to. You have to be able to, and sometimes it hits and out. But anyway, enough about that because...
Yes. Well, the first thing I want to say is last podcast, it was what was Zach going to pick for me to wear today for the podcast? Do you remember we were talking about...
I forgot.
We were talking about packing for your significant other for a vacation. Now, I have a little mini vacation coming up to No Doubt at the Sphere. So by the time this comes out, I will be about to go to that show.
Yep.
And even one of my girlfriends said to me today, "What are you wearing?" And I was getting my hair done the other day. My stylist, "What are you going to wear to the show?" I have no clue, but I know that I could not let Zach choose. Although I do like what he picked today. I was surprised. He picked the fringe.
It's been a minute since I've seen the Dolly Parton shirt out.
Yes. I even wore, hold on.
It might have been a couple years.
Cowboy boots.
Oh, my Lord.
So that's, I really.
So you really did wear the outfit he picked out for you. He went into your closet and said this and this.
Yes. I think he saw that fringe and he's like, that's what my lady needs to show off. She needs to show off her fringe. Yes, she needs danglies. And I guess it is kind of weird because I literally never dress up anymore. I used to actually dress up a little bit more for the show. Now
she's given up on that part.
I've given up so hard. I wear joggers every day.
Well,
or jeans. Joggers, jeans, and black.
It's actually really funny because you look like Sylvester Stallone's girlfriend in Tulsa King with that outfit. She owns a ranch in that show.
Okay, wait,
and her outfits are very similar to what you're wearing right now.
Sylvester Stallone.
I can't figure out if it works or not for you.
Hold on a second.
I can't remember her name, but she's in whoever's girlfriend. She's the ranch owner in Tulsa King.
Okay, so her name is. Dana Delaney plays Margaret Devereaux, the love interest of Sylvester Stallone's character Dwight.
Yep.
And okay, let's see.
See if you see some pictures. It'll match up pretty well with your outfit.
All right, let's see. Images. Oh, I see her with the cowboy hat.
Uh-huh.
Cute.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
The shirt, though, really got me. Like, I could see her wearing that.
Adorable.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, there's somebody in leopard in one of these. Okay, anyway.
Oh, let me tell you, that show, I know you have your problems with Stallone's acting. But I've been desperately trying to get you to get into that. But here nor there, the outfits that come up in that show, you would laugh a lot. You'd love it.
I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it at all. So there you go.
What if Zach said to you, "Hey, I really think you should give this a whirl"?
No. Okay, we've done that already. It's called, oh God, what is the name of the show we just finished? And it was fine, but I can't always trust his shows. It's like you watch what you want to watch. I'll watch what I want to watch. We do have some similar things. Like he watched The Pit, and now I'm watching The Pit. He watched DTF St. Louis. I watched DTF St. Louis.
You're just not quite aligning at the same time.
No. He actually watches. I fall asleep too fast. Climbing show on Netflix. Hold on a second. It's called. Oh God, that's not it. Maybe it's on HBO. Hold on a second. It's this guy who climbs these like crazy things in like Moab, which I brought up on the show the other day.
Is this like the free climbing guy where he doesn't use ropes and all that?
Yes. It's called The Dark Wizard.
Yeah, that's too much anxiety for me. I can't do that. Can't do that.
Dude, it seriously was. We're like, is he going to die right now?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
I could not,
It is insane. Actually, there's something that happens in the show that I want to do. I really want to base jump. And that's when you're like jumping off of something, not bungee jumping.
Something perfectly called the ground.
No, you're higher up.
You could be.
So when I was vacationing in West Virginia, they have a base jumping day, and I would like to do it, but at this point, I think Zach would literally die. He's so anxiety ridden that I think
riddled with anxiety.
Oh my gosh, yes, he just couldn't. He couldn't. So anyway, every show we don't need to watch together.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's truth to that.
You and Tiffany, I'm sure, are the same. Like you don't.
Well, she's big into the Pit right now. I mean, she does work in the medical community, so she's big in the Pit.
And
she used to love ER. Remember ER when that was on?
Me too. And that guy from Noah Wiley.
Yeah.
Yes. But he's such a different character. You have to watch this show, Scott. It is so good.
I might eventually get into it.
Different times, huh? Different timelines.
I mean, we don't.
Let's be real. You're not going to get into it. You're just going to keep watching reruns of Star Trek.
Well, that's always going to be in the queue. But, well, what can I say?
Don't you get bored?
I told you what this is. I explained to you there is an actual medical, psychological diagnosis to what this is.
Yeah, but you literally watch the same.
Not the same ones. There's lots of seasons and series that I can jump around to.
I understand that, but it's like literally no other category.
It is this. Yes, that's not true. I watched Tulsa King. I watched Landman, although I'm still behind on this season. And the news. And I put dishes in the dishwasher to Jeopardy and go, man, I'm stupid. But there's my evening.
Get your New Balances out.
Yeah,
Scott's strutting to town.
This has been this is what my life has de-evolved to. Is better load the dishes, then I got to give the kids their vitamins. You got to brush your teeth and go to bed.
I mean, yeah, I do the dishes thing too, but I still try to watch something else or do something else. You're too much.
Whatever. You don't watch anything. You know what? The fact that you've strayed from murder mysteries or docuseries is amazing to me.
Well, that's what that climbing one's. It's a 4-part doc.
Well, it's a doc, but unless he's being murdered on the cliff.
Well, I can't tell you.
Oh, that's great. Now it's a murder doc again.
There is some death.
Well, yeah, somebody's going to slip.
Well,
it's going to happen.
I can't tell you, but you really should watch it.
I kind of know. There's a thing called gravity. This is not hard to figure out.
Yeah, but this dude it's amazing how he would just go across this string and no net. He required no net. He got paid a lot of money. He went over to, was this
the guy that went across Niagara Falls about a decade or so ago?
What's that dude's name that went across Niagara Falls? I can't think of his name, but this guy, was it China? And they paid him a lot of money and they wanted to put a net underneath him. And he was like, absolutely not. No, take it away. He doesn't want the net.
That's too...
Yeah, where do you think that's going to turn out?
Too daring. I mean, what if you have to sneeze? I mean...
Oh my God, yeah, what if you're sick and you have a cough or something? Oh my God, I never thought about that.
Midway through,
yes.
Right over. Yeah.
Because I always am coughing for no gosh dang reason. I'm like,
I see.
I'm like, what?
You're getting older too. It's the random cough.
Yes.
Just out of nowhere. It's like pretty soon she'll be carrying the wadded up Kleenex. She'll be like,
oh my God, I already do that. And Zach can't stand it because he'll do the laundry. God bless his soul. And he's like, Allie, you have like 19 Kleenexes in here.
I've told you this too. Do you remember? You will have forgotten.
It's washing Tiffany's clothes.
Yes. Because she works in the medical community, they always have Kleenex on them. And anybody that has to do laundry for anyone in the medical field that that would have pockets. Nurses, I know, are notorious for this too. You will pick out these little pieces of Kleenex that gets glued to everything.
It's all over. And he's like, you're going to clog your dryer vent again with all your dang Kleenex.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, there it is. All right. You said you were going to admit to it. We were doing the show the other day, actually promoting last week's podcast.
What?
And you said you were going to tell me why you were crying and why I was feeling all awkward and I had to go get a tractor battery.
Okay, so one thing I will not do is talk too much about my previous relationship out of respect for him.
I respect that highly, yes.
Because he is not a bad person, and I will say he's not the villain in my story. I think what we need to normalize is two people don't necessarily need to end up together in every situation.
Absolutely.
But the reason I was feeling a lot of anxiety and why I was crying was because he put our old house on the market.
Aha.
And
gotcha.
That was something that I wasn't expecting because I didn't stay in the house and he did. And I was just really shocked by it. It totally threw me off. And it's weird. There's two things that were happening. Number one was it's the finality of it. Mm-hmm. Even though the relationship is over, it still is the finality of that chapter. And I was feeling just very sad about it and anxious about it and just all the feelings that come with an end. Even though there was already an end, there is still this weird part of grief that I always say, it's unusual to grieve somebody who is actually living. And that's something that I've had to deal with on my own is that I grieve somebody who is still alive, and that I've moved on, he's moved on, and all of that. But when things like that happen, when I get sideswiped by my old house, being put on the market, it's like, I always say, like, grief is kind of like birds that are swooping above you over top, and then one of them dives down and just shocks you out of nowhere, which I think other people would say the same who have lost a parent or a significant other or a child, that, you know, all of a sudden one day you're doing something and you think about them and it just is like the bird dived down. Like, why am I all of a sudden thinking about them? Or why is it hitting? Why is it hitting like this? And for me, I'm much better now, and I'm so grateful for the person I'm with now that is very understanding of the process that I've had to go through to get through it. And also because, like I said in the last podcast, is that he really puts me at ease. He makes me feel so safe, and like safe to talk about whatever I want and feel however I want, which is, of course, that's how a relationship should be. It's just, and it's so insane how much he is my safe space, and it's great. I love it. And that is why I was having so much anxiety, was because I was grieving the end of that chapter.
So I have a question about this.
Sure.
Do you think part of it is when one person goes, you know, like you said, normalizing, sometimes people just don't work together. Not that either one of them were bad, or, you know, and it doesn't always have to be bad things happen in a relationship. Sometimes you're just like, yes, this just wasn't the fit. Now, that being said, do you think that it affects us because somewhere in our personal psyche, we expect them to be stuck in the spot they were in when things went their own way? Like that area just never changes. There they go. And then when the house went up, it was like, bam, you know, there it is. Not staying stuck in that situation. Like, you think about it like this. You moved on. You're living your life. You're doing your thing. You're on to new and you know, better things. But in your mind, it almost settles us to expect the person to be what they were when we walked out the door, if you will. Yeah,
and I was expecting him to be in that house for a very long time. Just even geographically, I was expecting that. And so I think, Scott, it's both of those things. I even talked to my parents about this a little bit, and my dad's like, I completely understand. It's the finality of something, of a couple things. It's the finality of something you invested in, but not only invested in, but it's the finality of somebody you love. And that's a hard thing. Like, you know, however the love ended, but it still doesn't mean I did not love that person. So it's a lot of finality, and I'm not the best when it comes to finality or change.
Look, the good news is we've gone 20 years, and I plan to go another 20 before I can afford to not. So you won't have to worry about change for quite some time.
And that's the other thing that I think is like so great about this particular relationship, is that we have not really changed, as far as, not that much. Like, yes, we've changed over 20 years, but you are a constant in my life. So that, I mean, it helps. And I said that in the last podcast too. I said, you know, coming in this room makes me feel at ease.
Oh, I told you the same, very similar in the last podcast, where when I was going through, because over 20 years, we've all gone through things which hopefully it changes you in, you know, good directions, let's say, or mature, or whatever the case may be. But there's something about this room where, and I just say this room, but I mean the show in general, and probably the consistency and the, you know, doing it on the regular, and knowing that it usually is a pretty good time. Yeah. It's an escape. So, you know, a lot of times, even when I had things going on in my life, and sure, maybe it bled through a little bit, but the reality was there was this escape to doing it, which also is a sign, I think, for people, you're doing what you need to do.
Yes.
You know, this is what you're meant to do.
Yes, that's so true too. And we're always having such a good time. But also what I like about this podcast too is that listeners, I'm always like, everything's fine, everything's okay. And that's the one thing that I have learned from this situation, is like, it's not always okay.
Oh, no.
And it's like, and I need to quit being like, everything's fine, everything's okay, because it's not okay. And that's where I'm like, I'm glad that listeners can at least, they might not be the Sanya on the other end of the phone who gets to hear every gory detail about my feelings throughout the whole process, But at least I love that they're there and they get to know that there is that side of me too. It's not just rainbows and kittens all the time. So that's why I did want to talk about it a little bit, because it is happening in my life.
Sure. Absolutely. I mean, we've shared lots of things that have happened in our life, and there's certain things out of respect we won't say, either on the show or the podcast, and that's just, again, that is a respect, and whether it's a situational respect or a respect for the other person, or even respect for people around whatever the situation was that could or might still be affected by something. So now. Can we completely switch gears for a minute?
Yes,
to
let's
something. Do it. So I know we joke all the time. We totally joke all the time that I'm Grumpy Scott and all this. But the reality to it is I'm actually not like that. I mean, I get
that's situational.
A lot of times it is. I get a kick out of being, almost that. I can't believe I'm saying that I'm the voice of reality. But a lot of times people get caught up in their own little piece of whatever their thought process is, and it's kind of like that's the mindset that I like to play with. Well, this one,
devil's advocate, you mean?
Sometimes sometimes it's just pointing out the silly, absurd, obvious, whatever, and I just said obvious. But this affected me in a weird way this week. So
big feelings this week, huh?
Well, you'll understand. And actually, I have to say, as I go through this, I got a great little bit of support from another parent that recently went through something similar to this. So Lydia is about to turn 7. And she's going to have a birthday party. Now, I also want to say a couple very, very key things here. I adore her school. I adore her teacher, the people that are all there. That her school has been a part of my life for a number of years now. Gavin went there, knew a lot of the people then. Now Lydia's going there, and they're all wonderful. This is more of a society thing, and how do we switch this back? So she's having a birthday party coming up in the very near future. And we had originally booked it for 12 kids. Now, here's why we booked it for 12 kids.
Okay.
Pre-K and kindergarten, because you got to realize their social group is pretty much only their school friends at this point. Maybe if you're in a sport or something, you get one or two, but their main primary, I see you the most at a young age of 6, 7.
Yep.
Didn't mean to say 6, 7. Sorry. 6 going on 7 is your school friends, right? Pre-K. Invited the entire class. Quite a few of the class came, most of them,
Okay, good.
Last year, invited the whole class
Well, that's
again.
when everything's new anyway, right?
Right.
Parents are like, okay, let's do it. This is our first big birthday party.
Well, and also keep in mind, kids move in and out of classrooms. So you got to realize it's not like the old schoolhouse days that, you're going to probably try to say, like you went to, Scott, where it was the one-room school.
Yeah, school.
Yeah. You get different kids in and out.
That's now a museum in every town.
Exactly. So, maybe
a museum where like 3 people visit a year. Okay, anyway,
maybe
I'm
every
done.
2 or 5 years.
Yeah.
You get maybe a 5 to 10% shift in kids every year that you remain in school. So some are there, some are not, some are, So this year, last year, invited the whole class again. And only a limited number of kids came. I mean, it went from almost the whole class in the year before pre-K to a pretty big drop down.
Yeah.
Now, keep in mind, Lydia is one of those pretty popular kids. She gets along very well with everybody. Sure, she's got a few people that she gets along with better, but she just does well with that. Gavin too.
Kid, yeah.
So at any rate, we figured after
at this age, of course, aren't they all getting along really?
Yeah, I mean, you do. Oh boy, did I get a notice though from Gavin's school yesterday from his teacher about out of school rumors, and not rumors, but conversations and dating and stuff going on, and the teacher wanted to reel that in. I could read it to you, but it was I'm like, and I had the same reaction. I was like, dating.
in
Fifth
third
grade?
Oh, fifth grade.
Fifth grade. Third. No, fifth
I don't
grade.
know.
So it was one of those things I was like, oh God, here we go. Now that's starting. But at any rate, it was just a general thing that he was saying. Let's reel it in.
Okay.
Back to Lydia though.
Yeah.
So first year, pre-K, full class invited, most came. Last year, kindergarten, full class invited, a limited number came. So we said this year, we are not going to spend a fortune. We plan to go to the Rockwell Art Museum. It's an art lab that they have on Market Street.
Yes, that's a great idea.
Lydia loves art. So this is the art lab, not the museum, but they get to do things for, and it's like an hour and a half, and I'm like, this is great.
Very hands-on.
So at any rate, didn't want to invite the whole class this time. Not because I wanted to hurt feelings.
But doesn't it get expensive?
That's exactly what it was. It was expensive. Learned a lesson from last year that honestly, not everybody's going to make it. So let's go with inviting the people she really, really would like to have come to the party. She'd love to have everybody come to the party.
Of course.
But let's go with the core, or at least the ones that she knows she's closest with. Make sure they get an invite.
And
okay?
Daddy ain't rich.
You can't do that anymore, at least in this class. If you don't invite the whole class, they don't let you give out the invitations.
Yeah, they implemented this before, and I didn't know if that still was a thing or not.
Well, I'm not the biggest fan of No Child Left Behind. I believe sometimes you make the list and sometimes you don't.
Yeah.
And I will tell you.
Kick rocks, nerd.
Okay, that's true. So I got a hold of one of the other parents that just had a birthday party, and I know from meeting her, she will give me her direct feelings, the truth on this. And I literally asked, I said, okay, how did you do this? Because I know the entire class wasn't at her daughter's birthday party. How'd you do it?
Yeah.
And she goes, well, at first she agreed. She said, yeah, I think it's BS that the whole class has to be invited, not because I want to hurt anyone's feelings, but because it's reality. You have to be, A, it's expensive.
Yes.
B, and that's a big piece to it. B, you have to be able to get this to a manageable number, but there's no real way to reach out to anybody anymore. Maybe social, but you really got to make sure you got the names and everything right, or God only knows who you're getting.
And wait, one other thing too is I know that Lydia is sweet, very sweet, and I'm not saying that she would be this way, but I remember when I was a kid, I didn't like everyone in my class. So why would I want Angela at my birthday party if I really don't like her that much?
I think in Lydia's case, there's maybe at this age too, because again, it's first grade. There are some kids you have more contact with,
right?
Some you have less contact with.
Yeah,
not so much. I don't know that she's gotten to the point yet that she's starting to really look at,
I don't like you.
I don't connect with this person, and of course at that age it would sound like I don't like him, but it's
I like how I just put it out there. I don't like you, Angela.
It's personalities on you start to eventually develop the people you connect with. So I do think there is a group of people that she just spends more time with rather than the others, as opposed to not liking yet. I think that will, unfortunately, that happens to everybody. Well, not unfortunately, you just realize what you like. You just, the type of people, or you discover people you're like, I like you.
Yeah.
And there are just people you don't stay real close to, and that's okay.
Right.
So anyway, back to this other mother. So she goes, and I'm paraphrasing this. She goes, it sucks because they're expensive. You should not have to invite everyone. We grew up in a time, and I know she's a little bit younger than me. I know, obviously, I'm the oldest father with a kid in first grade.
You said obviously.
Well, I mean, come on,
as
I'm
if
55.
you walked in with a cane.
I mean, well, no, but I mean, I maybe there's a couple parents that are in their 40s, but. I probably hold that title of, dad from a generation that remembers how to be raised.
Good. Oh,
wow. But at any rate, she went on to say, she goes, and in our day, sometimes I love this line. Sometimes you made the list and sometimes you didn't.
Yeah.
And she's right. So
so what did she do?
So she ended up going up to the school And I was looking for the perfect solution for this. She ended up going up to the school at pickup time at the end of the day and caught as many kids that she knew that her daughter would want to have at the party and got invitations into their hands as they were leaving. And it's chaotic. And it's chaotic, and you're going to miss somebody, or you might get that person. Either way, Lydia was one of the kids that went, had a great time. We know her daughter already because I exchanged the messages and all that. Her daughter's already going to come to this. I know there is a few people I can reach out to outside of the school connection that I know Lydia's friends with, and I know I have their parents' numbers or whatever. That's the easy part.
Yeah, but what if it's like, and this is where it's harder. Lydia might be friends with, let's say, Eleni, and Lainey, you don't know her parents.
Yeah, right.
Don't know their number. It's like,
I got to get this invitation in their hands.
Well, and then you go, okay, Lydia, what's Lainey's last name? Oh,
and she wouldn't at this point.
Exactly. And you're like, well, what does she look like? Pretty.
Yeah, God, this is so, yes, exactly.
So you're like, I'm just like, well, Lainey, and pick up.
And that's the other thing. Not everybody gets picked up by their parents. Right. Some kids ride a bus. Some people are walkers. Some
latchkey,
people,
right? Don't you have latchkey?
This is not going to work in the sense of me going, I'll just rush up there at dismissal time with my fistful of invitations. And
trying to find Lainey who's pretty.
Exactly. So I called her teacher. And because I really do not believe in this, everybody needs to get one. But I also don't want to hurt feelings. That's not my goal. You know this. Even when I get real snarky with shit, I don't want to hurt feelings. Sometimes I'm just getting snarky for a laugh.
No, but didn't we learn this with millennials? I'm placing the blame on my generation of the everyone's included trophies.
Yeah, because Gen Z doesn't even give a shit about a party anymore. They're like, whatever.
Right.
So I'll stay home.
My thing is like, why are we going back in time and regressing with the participation trophy, but it's the participation birthday invitation?
So I call the teacher, and she's, like I said, she's great. I love all these guys. And she goes, oh my God. She goes, I was totally going to call you because as Lydia started handing these out in the classroom, I kind of moved it to, honey, we can't do this, and she lightly explained to me what was going on when she stopped her from doing it.
Okay.
So I told her, because also this is a teacher that's not, in her 20s. This is a teacher that's a little more seasoned. She's done this for a little bit. I said, okay, we got to figure out the workaround, because I said, number one, the expense. We learned a lesson last year. I'm not inviting the whole class because, a third of the class came. And it's like, I just feel like, and then half the time getting RSVPs is like an impossibility. So I said, what's the workaround? Do you want me to sit down with Lydia? We will write the names of the kids she knows she wants to get an invitation, and then you slide them in some way that they can get them? Or what do we do here?
I don't think the teacher could do that.
Well, she was even saying, because that was sort of where she was thinking too. We were both like, well, we couldn't. She's like, I don't know. And I was very diplomatic about it. I said, well, we'll figure something out here, because the idea of going up at dismissal kind of works, not really well, but kind of works. The idea that the teacher doesn't want people to have hurt feelings because they didn't get one, I understand that. The fact that there's a limited number that I can have, I understand that. It's like there's got to be this solution, because even the teacher said, she goes, we can't pick up a phone book anymore and look up the Smiths and be like, hey, we wanted your daughter to come to the birthday party. You can't do that.
Right. And you don't know Lainey's last name, so you can't even look up her mom on Instagram if she's on Instagram.
So you see this huge dilemma, and nobody's Instagram name is who they are.
No. So, and you hope that it's the right Jacqueline Smith.
Yes. So you see this huge dilemma that's going on. I despise the fact that, and a lot of people do, I had support on this, that you have to invite everyone, but you don't want to hurt feelings, but then how the hell do you do it, right? So at any rate, Tiffany had gotten a hold of the Rockwell people, and she explained the situation to them. She goes, well, Apparently, we have to invite all or nothing. And unfortunately, we will never know the exact count of who all is coming, except for the core people. I know already one. I know another one that'll come. I've actually got 3 confirmations already because they're people that Lydia's known for some time.
Awesome, yeah.
Or I've had communication with the parents. This is a guarantee. So the Rockwell people basically said, well, you can take it up to, said number. You got to figure there's like an average of 18 kids in a classroom. So at any rate, it came down to the fact that Lydia ended up taking in invitations for the whole classroom because Rockwell said this. All because of a couple things. I don't want my daughter not being able to invite who she truly knows might come and wants to invite. And it's not about who you don't want to invite, but somehow you just got to whittle it down.
Also, I think that you shouldn't have to invite everyone.
I agree.
Because then I'm not the person throwing the party. I'm the person attending. So I'm the parent of, let's say I'm Lainey's mom. So now I have to buy a gift for every Scotty, Tommy, Jesse, whatever in the class. And that gets expensive too. So I don't want to be invited to every party.
Do you know what I told the teacher?
What?
I said, it's a birthday party. I'm not throwing a field trip for the whole class.
Yeah.
It's literally what I said. I did it. We were laughing about it because she understood as well. But I think
But you gave invitations to every single kid?
You know why? The only reason I did? The only reason I didn't
Scott.
stand my ground on this
Why?
and really throw a fit,
Where's the Scott tantrum I know and love?
I disagree with this, but you know what's more important to me?
Your kid.
I don't want Lydia not being able to hand out invitations and have the party she's hoping to have, and hopefully those people will come. So I had to weigh the odds. Do this stupid no child, left behind, everybody has to be included bullshit, because I am from a generation. Sometimes you made the list, sometimes you didn't.
Right? Isn't this a life lesson too?
And it's not to be mean. You know what? You might be great at baseball, but suck at soccer. Don't go to the soccer team. Go to the baseball team.
Right.
I might be good at, playing the trumpet. You might be good at playing the banjo. Okay. We just have these areas where we're going to find ourselves going eventually and doing. And I just,
And I have one other thing too about this that really just
and you know
eats
what?
my
Now that I
butthole.
think about it, now you do have me fired up a bit.
Thank you.
Here
we go.
Here's the way you could have looked at it. I should have. Son of a bitch! I should have done this. I should have had Lydia with extra invitations in her backpack.
Make it rain.
Make it rain. That's awesome. Because if little Jeremy started to throw a little bitch fit because he was going to cry, and his mom's coddled to his ass all the time, so he cries to get whatever he wants.
Oh, he's going to be a mama's boy and a terrible husband later.
That's right. Then Lydia could have just been like, here, crying Jeremy. Here's your invitation. Why didn't I think of that?
Here you cry, baby.
I should have sent son of a bitch. I'm pissed at myself. I should have sent invitations for everybody, 18, and I should have been like, now listen, teacher. I'm setting enough for the whole class, but I want you to let Lydia hand out to who she wants. And if anybody else starts looking like they're welling up with, I got tears because I didn't get this, fine. Here's an invitation to you.
Here's your pity invite.
Here's your pity invite. That's what I should have done, son of a bitch.
And this is why I don't like this either, is because I'm not saying you're rich, but you're not poor either. But there are going to be people in that classroom who are put in the same scenario, who are in a way worse financial situation.
Yeah.
And you're now pressuring them to spend money they don't have, as opposed to, and it's hard to really entertain 18 kids. Lydia should have 3, 4, and then she gets to spend quality time with those 3 or 4 kids.
Well, like we said,
now we're forced to try to entertain. You know how it is when you go to even a wedding or when you throw your Super Bowl party. You barely talk to anybody, right?
Oh my God, you're constantly doing something.
And now we're forcing Lydia to start that at a young age.
Yeah.
No,
she won't. She'll end up doing her arts and crafts at the art lab, and that'll be great. And she'll have a couple kids that'll really do it with her closely.
Yeah.
And
then you're gonna have to be at the party and be like, Lydia, go play with Crybaby Jeremy because he's crying again.
Now that I thought, and of course this idea hit me as we're going through this, and I'm like, why didn't I just give her all the invites, let her hand them out to the people she wanted to, and if anybody looked like they were, starting to be affected by it, okay, shut up, here's your invite. I should have God dang it, I wish I would have thought about that sooner. I
wish
really do.
Yeah, and I wish you wouldn't even have given her all those invites. Three or four out the door.
But the problem with it is they weren't going to be allowed to be given out. And then, then
oh, what are they going to do? Suspend her in first grade? Please.
No, really,
nothing's going to happen.
It really would have.
It's the same when I trespassed at Watkins Glen State Park.
Oh, Jesus,
nothing's going to happen.
No,
to
nothing's
me.
going to happen.
So,
but boy, I'll ride that.
Tell Lydia. This is where she's got to start making waves.
Well, yeah, but you have to understand. I don't want to disrespect the teachers.
Okay.
I understand what they're trying to do. I'm not trying to start a Lydia exclusive club. I just,
right.
I have to. We have to find a way.
I got away. I got a solution. I think because not every parent wants to give out their address, but at the beginning of the year, they should have all parents who have social give their social handle, so that way you could have contacted
or a phone number,
but that way you could contact them over social saying, hey, Jacqueline Smith.
I think the phone number would be more likely that people would surrender. Sometimes people's social media is an odd and interesting reflection of either what their humor, what they're into, what their political views, what this
and
this
then your
and
kids really aren't going to be able to hang out.
Yeah, well, we'll have none of that.
There it is.
Oh, it was spam. My phone finally shut it down.
Saved by the bell.
San Jose, goodbye.
Well, that was fun. Wasn't that fun? That was fun. Do us a favor, will you? Subscribe. Share the Scott and Alley Not for Air podcast. Touch our buttons. We know you want to.